this pandemic, breaking connections to the world, empowering language on humanity. Let's bring the world of learning in one channel. Welcome to Business Combinations English TV.
Hello everyone, again I am Mom Pearl, your grade 7 English teacher, and welcome to Elizabeth Eminence's English TV, your grade 7 English Learning Hub, and welcome to Week 3 of Quarter 1, with the topic Active and Passive Voices of the Verb. And for the most essential learning competency, use the passive and active voice meaningfully in varied contexts. And for the duration of this lesson, Week 3, from September 27 to October 1. For our reference, we have English 7 Pivot 4A Learner's Material, pages 10 to 16. This lesson highlights the grammatical features and forms of voices of the verb. This also focuses on points to be considered in transforming active voice to passive voice and vice versa. And for our lesson objectives, first we have differentiate active and passive voices of the verb. Transform statements from active voice to passive voice and vice versa. And use active and passive voices in varied contexts. Before we proceed to our lesson, first, let us have an activity that will help you find out the level of sweetness of your parents to you when you were a child. That's right, there's a few questions that will help you figure it out. Are you ready? Get ready to answer the following questions with yes or no. Remember, this is not part of your output. This is just a game. Let's start. When you were a child, were you given a pasalubong by your parents? We have possible answers. First, yes, I was given pasalubong or goodies when I was a child. Or is it no, I wasn't? Next question, when you were a child, were you allowed to play outside with your friends? And possible answer, yes, I was allowed to play outside. Or no, I was only allowed to stay at home. Next question, when you were a child, where you get a reward for every good thing you've done? Is it yes, I got reward for every good things I have done? Or sometimes it depends on good thing done. Next, when you were a child, were you given a baon amounting to 20 pesos and above? Is it yes, I was given a baon amounting to 20 pesos and above? Or no, I was not allowed to have money. I only had snacks as baon. And next question, when you were a child, were you allowed to watch TV from time to time? Is it yes, I was allowed to watch TV from time to time? Or no, I was not allowed. Next question, when you were a child, were you fetched by your parents or guardians in school? Is it yes, I was always fetched by my parents? Or no, they let me take tricycle? Next question, when you were a child, were you given time to concentrate on your studies? Is it yes, I was always given time to concentrate on studies? Or no, lagi silang may inuutos? And when you were a child, were you allowed to use gadgets from time to time? Is it yes, I was allowed to use gadgets? Or no, they think gadgets are bad for me? When you were a child, were you taught positive values at home? Is it yes, I was taught positive values at home? Or no, my parents are always busy? When you were a child, were you taken to any facilities such as mall, park, etc.? Is it yes, I was taken to fun places, or no, my parents don't have time? This time, count the number of yes in your answer. 1 yes is equivalent to 1 point. Alright, have you found out how many yes answer you got? Let's interpret the result. If you got 1 to 5 yes, your parents are moderately sweet. And if you got 6 to 8 yes, your parents are sweet. And if you got 9 to 10 yes, well, you got a very sweet parents. So, are your parents very sweet, just sweet, or moderately sweet to you? Were you surprised at the result? Remember that the given statements are just some of the ways on how our parents or guardian can show their sweetness to us. There are still other ways which may not be indicated above as to how they can let us feel how they love us. Definitely, our parents have different ways of showing their love for us. Now, get ready for our lesson this week. We have active and passive voice. Voices of the verb focuses on the function of the subject being either the doer or performer or the receiver of the action. They are classified as two, active and passive. Active voice occurs when the subject of the sentence acts as the performer or doer of the action. Example, the teachers prepare the materials for their classes. The subject or the subject predicate, the teachers. The doer of the action or the receiver of the action, the materials. In this example, we can check whether the subject is the doer of the action by asking the question, who prepared the materials? The answer is definitely the teachers. And also, the teacher as the doer of the action is part of the subject predicate, which is at the beginning of the sentence. So, when the subject in the sentence is the doer of the action, it is in active voice. Passive voice indicated that the subject of the sentence is the receiver of the action. Though it is not always present, the doer of the action in passive voice is introduced by the preposition by. For example, the materials were prepared by the teachers for their classes. For the subject predicate, we have the materials. Receiver of the action, doer of the action by the teacher. In this example, we can check whether the subject is the receiver of the action by asking question, what is being prepared by the teachers? The answer is definitely the materials. And also, the materials as the receiver of the action is part now of the subject predicate, which is at the beginning of the sentence. And you can also notice that by is used to indicate the doer of the action in the predicate part. So, when the object in the sentence is in the subject predicate, it is in passive voice. To make it clear, let us compare the two examples. Active voice. The teachers prepare the materials for their classes. Passive voice. The materials were prepared by the teachers for their classes. Look and analyze the table carefully. In active voice, the subject is the teacher, which is the doer of the action. While in passive voice, the subject becomes the materials. Same goes with the predicate. In passive voice, the doer, which is the teacher, becomes part of the predicate in the sentence. Additionally, in passive voice, the subject, the materials, cannot be the doer of the action because it cannot perform action. It is an inanimate object. So, in order to show who the doer of the action is, the preposition by is added to show who performs the action in the sentence. That is why the materials were prepared by the teachers. Let's do some exercises together. Tell whether the statement is active or passive. 1. The doctor visited her patient in the hospital. So, is it active or passive? Right, it is active. 2. The medicine was administered by the nurse to the patient. Correct, it is passive. Number 3. The lesson was delivered in a well-planned session. Okay, good. It is active. 4. The fire prevention report was drafted by Edward. Yes, it is passive. And number 5. The king ordered the arrest of lawless citizens. Good, it is active. Do you know that we can actually change active voice to passive voice and vice versa? Let's talk about it. Transforming active voice to passive voice or vice versa. A. Simple present tense. We have their active, Jason prepares his meal, and passive, his meals are prepared by Jason. In this example, active voice, Jason prepares his meal, and passive voice, his meals are prepared by Jason. Analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb prepares is in present tense. It is in the singular form, which is with S, because Jason is a singular subject. In passive voice, the subject of the sentence becomes his meals, which is now in plural form. The be verb are is used together with the base form of the verb prepare, so that it agrees with the subject his meals, which is in plural form. Simple past tense. Active. Ethan informed his clients on the status of their order. Passive. His clients were informed by Ethan on the status of their order. In this example, active voice, Ethan informed his client on the status of their order, and passive voice, his clients were informed by Ethan on the status of their order. Analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb informed is in simple past tense. In passive voice, the subject of the sentence becomes his clients, which is in plural form. The be verb were is used together with the past participle of the verb informed, so that it agrees with the subject his clients, which is in plural form. C. Simple future tense. Active. The students will submit their report tomorrow. Passive. Their report will be submitted by the students tomorrow. In this example, active voice, the students will submit their report tomorrow, and passive voice, their report will be submitted by the students tomorrow. Again, analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in the active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb will submit is in simple future tense as indicated by the time expression tomorrow, which is not yet happening. In passive voice, will plus be, it's used together with the past participle form of the verb submitted. Whether the subject in both active voice and passive voice is singular or plural, it doesn't affect the verbs. In active voice, will plus base form of the verb is used, while in passive voice, will plus be plus past participle form of the verb is used. D. Present perfect tense. Active. The school has decided to shut off its operation. Passive. Its operations has been decided to shut off by the school. In this example, active voice, the school has decided to shut off its operations, and passive voice, its operations had been decided to shut off by the school. Again, analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb has decided is in the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense because it uses has plus past participle of the verb decide. Have can also be used as an auxiliary verb if the subject is plural. But since the subject, the school, is singular, has is used. In passive voice, has been is used together with the past participle form of the verb decided. Again, has is singular and have is plural. Has and have are present form as well. Since both subjects in active and passive voice are singular, we use has instead of have. In passive voice, has or have plus been plus past participle of the main verb decided should apply. Past perfect tense. Active. Athena had studied English before she moved to the US. Passive. English had been studied by Athena before she moved to the US. In this example, active voice, Athena had studied English before she moved to the US, and passive voice, English had been studied by Athena before she moved to the US. Again, analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in the active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb had studied is in the past perfect tense. Past perfect tense because it uses had plus past participle of the verb studied. Remember that had is the past form of has and have. In passive voice, had been is used together with the past participle form of the verb studied. Has and have are present form as well. In active voice, had plus past participle of the main verb is used, while in passive voice, had plus been plus past participle of the main verb is used. Future perfect tense. Active. Anthony will have baked the cake before he leaves. Passive. The cake will have been baked by Anthony before he leaves. In this example, active voice, Anthony will have baked the cake before he leaves, and passive voice, the cake will have been baked by Anthony before he leaves. Again, analyze the table. Note how the verbs are used in the active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the verb will have baked is in future perfect tense. Future perfect tense is used when expressing something that you expect to be done in the future time. Anthony wants to bake a cake and he will have it baked before the celebration comes. Means the action is expected to be completed in the future time. In passive voice, the form of the future perfect tense should be will plus have plus been plus past participle of the main verb. Both active and passive voice in the future tense and future perfect tense don't care about whether the subject is singular or plural. We can now apply what we learned from active and passive voice. Now let's try to write a paragraph on air cycle using the illustration. The air cycle. Active voice. Plants create oxygen through the help of the sunlight called photosynthesis. The oxygen that it produces stays in the atmosphere until animals and humans breathe it in. Then, humans emit a gas called carbon dioxide, which the plants needs. Then, the plants absorb carbon dioxide and process it to become oxygen. And the cycle goes on and on. And now, let's try to transform it into passive voice. Oxygen is created by plants through the help of the sunlight called photosynthesis. Oxygen that is produced through photosynthesis is breathed in by animals and humans. Carbon dioxide is emitted by humans, which plants need. Then carbon dioxide that is absorbed by the plants to become oxygen. And the cycle goes on and on. Well, I think you are now ready to accomplish your task for this week. So again, you're going to write your surname, given name, middle initial, quarter 1, week 3, and your grade and section, and of course the subject, English 7. For day 2, learning task 4, page 15. Day 3, learning task 5, pages 15 to 16. And for day 4, learning task 7, page 16. Day 2, learning task 4. Convert the following sentences from active voice to passive voice. Write your answers on your paper. 1. The mayor declared a state of calamity. 2. The students of the barrio school visited the museum in the city. 3. Our parish priest will officiate the mass during our town fiesta. 4. Her mother prepared cups of coffee for her classmates. 5. The governor ordered the closure of all provincial borders. 6. My father sold our farm for 1 million pesos. 7. The students plant seedlings. 8. The policeman arrested the quarantine violators. 9. Her employees presented their proposal. 10. Their caravels plowed the fields. Day 3. Learning task 5. Convert the following sentences from passive voice to active voice. Write your answers on your paper. 1. The pyramids were built by Egyptians during the ancient civilization. 2. A cup of coffee was prepared by the servant. 3. The documents have been prepared by the clerks for the hearing. 4. The gift is given by the boss to his employees. 5. Our papers were accepted by the secretary. 6. Their rooms are cleaned by their house helper. 7. Her collections will be transferred by the workers tomorrow. 8. His house was painted red and green by the painter. 9. The package were delivered by the courier. 10. The sheep were taken by the shepherd to the ranch. Day 4. Learning task 7. On your paper, copy and answer the statements below. Then write A if the statement is in active voice and P if it is in passive form. Then, transform each statement from active to passive voice and vice versa. 1. Noli Me Tangere is considered by experts as an enlightening novel. 2. The terraces were built by our ancestors. 3. Catriona Gray won the Miss Universe 2018 title. 4. The Philippines owns the Benham rice found in eastern portion. And 5. Residents of Calabarzon were affected by the Mount Taal eruption. 6. The Spaniards colonized the Philippines. 7. The bouquet of roses was given by Alex to his mother. 8. Her good deeds are rewarded by her parents. 9. Their family will receive financial support from the government. 10. The petition will be submitted by the lawyer to the prosecutor. Remember, you are not just going to write A if it is active or P if it is passive. If it is A in an active form, you're going to transform it to passive. And if it is P, you're going to transform it into active. So let's have number 1. Noli Me Tangere is considered by experts as an enlightening novel. So the answer is P. So it is in passive form. So let's transform it into active. It becomes expert considered Noli Me Tangere as an enlightening novel. And that's how you're going to do it. There you have it. You have successfully gone through week 3 of quarterly. Congratulations! Just make sure that you will complete your outputs before the submission. If you have comments or suggestions, you may reach out your subject teacher through text message, call, or group chat in Messenger. And please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be updated on our new videos. You can also like and share our videos so that other grade 7 can also watch and learn. Bye! See you in our next session. Happy learning!